outside on this beautiful blue sky day to speak about summer books. I am such a mood reader. I love to just follow the seasons with the books that I read. In the winter I like cosy and comforting stories, and in the summer I think it's best. Oh, we might have a few guests. Here's one. Hi honey. Oh, hello. Muddy paws, thank you very much. In the summer I like to read like sweaty, sticky books because I think it's more immersive. So I'm going to start with the ones that I have read and I think are great to read in the summer, and then I'm going to mention some that I would like to get read this summer. My apologies if all you can see is the dogs' arses. It's their space. I'm on their territory, I'm on their stomping ground, so we'll just ignore them. First one that I recommend is Claire Keegan's Foster. This is a short story novella. It is an Irish story, it's an Irish author. It's about a little girl who is sent to live with family, with relatives in rural Ireland. And it is beautifully written. It is so, it's like you can feel the muggy, sweaty heat rolling off the pages of this one. I absolutely loved this. I might even reread it this summer because it is so short. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. I always love Keegan's writing. The next one that I absolutely love for the summertime is J.L. Carr's A Month in the Country. I read this in spring this year. I wish I'd saved it for summer, like late summer, like July, August time. The pigeons are fighting on the roof. This is another short one actually. This is about a war veteran who's got a bit of PTSD, and he comes to a small Yorkshire village and he renovates a painting in a church, and it's set over one summer. I so wish I'd saved this for the hot and sticky days because it's literally set where I live, so I would have really, really enjoyed this one. I still enjoyed it nonetheless. Maybe I'll even reread it when it gets to the end of summer, maybe. But this is a brilliant story for such a short book. I made so many notes on this. I loved everything about it. It was just that quiet, dry, like heat that you can just feel like coming off the pages, and I really felt like I was there reading this one, so I absolutely would recommend this one for the summertime. Then we have one that is sort of spring summer. We're kind of out of spring now, so it's still applicable to the summertime. This is The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Armin. I read this last April, so not this one just gone, April 2024. This is a hello Ruffles. She's covered in mud. She's been in the bushes. This is based in Italy. So if you're going to Italy, this is a great read. This is about 4 women. I can't remember if they're all a little bit older. I believe that they are. And they basically like club together to rent a mansion kind of villa type thing on the Italian coast for the month of April. And it's just about all the endeavours that they, what's the right phrase? Endeavours they come across, what they get up to basically. It's about the month in April, and again this literally transported me to the Italian coast. I felt like I was in Italy when I was reading this. So if you're going to Italy, highly recommend this one. It's quite an old one. It was 1922 this was published, so it is a little bit of a classic. Absolutely love this and would highly recommend, would definitely reread it. Then we have Sex and Rage by Eve Babitz. This wasn't my absolute favourite book I've ever read. I don't tend to gravitate towards the like kind of messy early 20s character type. It's not my favourite thing to read. However, it's a great one to read in the summer. It's set in Los Angeles in 1970, so you can just feel the vibes that are coming off this book. That dreamlike kind of floating of like drugs and sun and relationships. It is that kind of like, I don't know what another word to describe it other than like sticky. It's a sticky book. But if you like that kind of thing and you like that kind of character, it is a wonderful one to read in the summertime. It's not my favourite. I think it gave it like 3 stars, but it's definitely, I would like to read more of Babitz's work. I just don't think I loved the main character in this. But yes, I would still recommend putting it on your summer reading list if it sounds like it's up your alley. And these are all relatively short books, to be honest. This is The Man Who Planted Trees by Giono. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong. This is quite a, you could read this in one sitting. This is like an hour or so. I'm getting so hot. A short story. It's all based in trees and nature, so it's definitely one to read when the sun's out and when you can be outside whilst you're reading it. I read this in an afternoon, just sunbathing, and not even an afternoon, I think it took like 40 minutes. It's a nice one. It's just a nice little quick summer book. Then we have the summer book of all summer books, in my opinion. Again, I don't think I absolutely loved this, but I did read it at a time when I wasn't very appreciative of... Oh, don't stop barking. Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman. I really should stop trying to pronounce names. Anyway, this is the summer book and summer movie is the epitome of summer. Like I was saying, I did read this when I wasn't very appreciative of writing style and character development, so I don't think I rated it very highly, but I think if I reread it now I would like it, because I was very much in my like figuring out what I enjoyed and still reading like the TikTok books. I didn't really care for the craft of a story, so I think I do need to reread this one. I think if you haven't read this or it's not on your summer reading list, then you need to put it on it, because you have to read this. Everyone has to read this. That is a gigantic cloud. Call Me By Your Name is set in the Italian Riviera. It's that kind of European summer, like kind of restless, you're very just lazing around. It's a very lazy summer book, this one. And it's about a 17-year-old Elio, and he stays at a house with an older guy, Oliver. It's just about the relationship that blooms between those two people. If you haven't seen the movie or read the book, then give it a go. Last one that I have to recommend is Herman Hesse's Siddhartha. I want to reread this year. I don't think this is particularly a summer book. It's not really, I don't think it's set in summer, but it feels very light and airy and like it would be a good one to read in the summer. It doesn't feel to me like a wintry book. Siddhartha is like a loose retelling of the story of the Buddha. So if you're interested in that kind of spiritual Buddhism book or like that kind of topic, then you will like this one. I still think it's an important read, even if it's not a topic that you usually gravitate towards. It's just about him setting out on his spiritual journey, and it won the Nobel Prize. I loved this book. I do want to reread it, and it's only short, so I can definitely reread this one. So moving on to the ones that I want to read this summer, I have already mentioned Three Summers by Margarita Liberacchi. I'll be taking this one on holiday with me. This is about three sisters across 3 summers set in Athens in Greece just before the Second World War. And it sounds so up my street. It sounds so summery, like that. Like sometimes you read a book and you can literally hear the crickets, like you can feel the heat. This one's going to do that for me, so I'm very excited to read this one. Another one that I have set aside for the summer season, Frances Hodgson Burnett's The Secret Garden. I did begin to read this. I think I got I've earmarked the page. I got 25 pages in and then I put it down to read something else. I can't remember what it was, but I will be reading this one this year. This is an absolute classic, and to me that feels like you have to read this in the spring and summertime, because it's literally set outside in a magical little garden. That's not wintry, so I got to read this one. I also have in my pile Out of Africa by Karen Blixen. This is obviously set in Africa. I think it's a memoir about a lady who went to work on a coffee plantation in Kenya. So obviously we're going to be in that hot environment. I think this one will be a good one to read in the summer. I've had this on my reading list since I saw it mentioned on the Gilmore Girls. So I think I will try get to this one this summer. I have a few that I don't have a physical copy of on my radar. I would like to read Hot Milk by Deborah Levy. I got recommended that in the comments, and that is set in Spain, and I'm going to Spain at the end of summer, so I think I might save that one and take that with me on holiday. I also have The Guest by Emma Cline, maybe on my radar. I've heard that that's a great one to read in the summer. It's not my usual genre, but I'm open to anything that makes me feel summery. And I would maybe, don't quote me, like to get to Lonesome Dove. That just feels like I should read that in the summertime. I feel like a western is it's set in the Wild West, and I don't know, I associate that with like sunshine and heat. So I would like to read that one, I think, this summer. Don't shout at me if I don't read it. I have had people ask me why I haven't read it yet, and I will read it. I want to read it, but it is a commitment. So hopefully, the sun's back out. Hopefully I will get to that one this summer. What else do I want to read this summer? I'm trying to think what I don't have copies of. There was definitely something else. Can't remember. I'm sure there was something else I wanted to read this summer. If you have any recommendations for your favourite books in the summer, please let me know. Please leave them below. I love reading through all the recommendations, and I have definitely added some to my list that have been commented on my videos. That's going to bug me, what book I'm missing out that I don't have a copy of. Did I write it down? Oh, I forgot as well. I haven't brought them down. The Neapolitan Quartet is a great one for the summer. I've only read the first book, My Brilliant Friend. I haven't read the following 3, so maybe that'll be something that I read. That's also set in Italy, so you have to read that during the summer. I guess also anything by John Steinbeck, because they're always in California. It's always sunny and hot in those books, and they always make me feel like I'm in the heat. I love those books. Maybe I'll read Grapes of Wrath. Oh, I would also like to read The Overstory by Richard. So many books and so little time, really. I've got like, what, June, July, August, like, and a little bit of September while it's warm. So, like 3.5 months. I could do that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the little change of setting, the little outdoor. I felt like I had to film this video outside. It would be wrong to film this inside. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.